Hello OCNers, I'm Blue Devil, your YouTube manager here on Overclock.net. I never thought I'd be looking at an RGB headset, but here I am, so let's go. This is the Gamdias Hephaestus P1 RGB, which is a virtual 7.1 surround sound gaming headset which features, yes, you guessed it, RGB. An interesting feature that the P1 RGB boasts is cooling vents, which are built-in cooling heat sinks providing comfortable temperatures while having extended gaming sessions. To me, I think I kind of look like an air traffic controller with them on. Being USB powered means that the P1 RGB is virtual 7.1 channel capable. So let's find out how that pans out. So before we get started with audio, let's take a look at build quality. The ear cups are mostly fantastic plastic with RGB accents on the cups themselves. Looking at the cups themselves, seeing the obtrusively large heat sinks that are meant for cooling facing to the front of the headset. Moving to the ear cups themselves is a pleather-like material that is comfortably enough. Interestingly enough, some soft mesh is on the inside of the ear cup, making those with larger than normal ears a bit more comfortable. The drivers themselves are 50 millimeters with the sensitivity of 119 plus or minus 3 dB. Moving up to the headband, which is a metal and is adjustable in various sizes, is what seems to be a foam back pad to aid in comfort. On the other side of the P1 RGB is an omnidirectional microphone, which can be flexed into position. Overall, the construction of the headset is okay. When stressed with twisting and movement, there's apparent creaks and extra noise coming from the P1 RGB itself. The cable is braided, which is good. However, in line with the USB connector is a smart remote controller. Adjusting the volume and controlling mute for the mic is, I guess, a smart function, but I would consider it a normal function of a USB headset. Looking at the smart remote controller is kind of awkward, to put it lightly. I feel that it's upside down, meaning when I look down to adjust the volume up, I have to push max down or min up. The mic mute button is right above that, again with the upside down mic logo, which lights up blue when the mic is active and red when muted. The USB connection, which is gold plated, sums up the rest of the cabling, totaling 1.8 meters or almost 6 feet. Now, I guess I have to talk about the RGB of the P1 RGB. The thought of having RGB on a headset IMO is kind of silly if you are at home. Yes, I could see this for LAN events or going to your buddy's house for an extended gaming session, but outside of those scenarios, RGB on a headset is just kind of silly. With the Gamdias Hardware software, just like their line of keyboards, it controls the RGB functions of the P1 RGB as well as having a built-in equalizer, environment modes, and any other software updates. RGB functions that can be controlled is LED on or off, static, breathing, rainbow, and flash. So, how do they sound? Well, I'm no audiophile, but the P1 RGB sounds decent to me. Although the soundstage is a bit flat, the highs aren't as pronounced, with the lows having a decent amount of bass. As far as the virtual 7.1 option in Hera, well, I tried it for a few minutes in Fortnite and quickly turned it off. I was quickly reminded why I don't care for surround sound headphones or headset. So, how does the omnidirectional microphone sound? Well, you've been listening for the last few minutes, so I'll let you be the judge of that. So with all things considered, a gaming headset is subjective on its own, let alone having RGB thrown in. Does the P1 RGB do what it says it does? Yes. Does the P1 RGB kind of overdo it? One could say that. But when it comes down to it, is RGB in a gaming headset a must? The gaming headset market is extremely crowded and very subjective. So, is way too many other gaming headsets at a lower price point that, quite frankly, do it better? The Corsair HS50 and the HyperX Cloud Stinger sound much better without the need of having RGB to make them sound better than they actually are. So with that said, 3 out of 5 flames from me. The P1 RGB just feels just like a sub $40 headset. Sound-wise, I really didn't have a problem with them. Okay guys, I'm gonna get on out of here. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Blue Devil, out.